Django. Django.
Enter the Lab, episode 9. Elvis, Escobar, Fort Sama. On this episode, we got a lot of Super Bowl coverage, halftime show. Is it the best ever? We got UFC 271 breakdown. NBA trade deadline was last week. Got a lot of movement there with some teams and making a push-off playoff play. But the main question is today, yesterday, that took over the news outside of sports was Fort's boy, Kanye West.
My dog, my boy.
What
Kanye.
is up with your boy? Why is Kanye going full Kanye every single day for the last 3 days?
My man said he woke up and he didn't want to trend over the Super Bowl.
He said that wasn't his intention.
Those were not my intentions. Fucking Kanye
Okay.
being Kanye, man.
Then he goes to the Super Bowl. That's the irony
goes,
about
yeah.
it. Like
he's sitting with AB, probably the two most mentally stable people right now in the universe.
Mental wealth.
Yeah, good section right there. But bro, I think he's just, every time he drops an album, he goes on one of these, little things he does and just goes off for a few weeks. But this time it's funny, man, because he's calling Pete Davidson Skeet Davidson. Dude, he's just been killing me. And, of course, the internet, Twitter has taken over the memes. And, bro, he sent Kim a truck with some roses today.
What was it crystal clear? Did I not get the reference? Is that a brand? Is that a thing?
I'm not sure, but I mean,
because it's crystal clear with 2Ks.
With 2Ks,
obviously,
yeah.
Kim Kardashian. I get it.
Right.
But is there another reason? Probably not.
I'm not
that was
sure.
Probably the only reason.
Yeah. He said my vision is crystal clear, but dude, he just I don't know why he does these things. It's so funny. You're Kanye. There's so many other ways you could promote an album that you don't really even have to try this hard. But hold on, because freaking Kim goes, "Why do you keep sharing our personal conversations?" Hold on, I gotta show it because he's a clown, man. I had to make a whole folder. For this shit.
My account is not hacked. I love that. That's the first time somebody's ever tried to prove it's like a prison photo. You know what I mean? Just to or when you're holding up in a when you want to prove what day it is, where you hold up the newspaper of that day so you can tell people.
So look at this man. Why can't you keep any of our conversations private? Because I got a text from my favorite person in the world. I'm his number one fan. Bro, she's probably flipping out. Could you imagine her at the crib just flipping out?
Bro.
Dude, let me see.
He's wilding.
He's really wild.
He has so many. Did he delete all the posts that he had up?
He did. He did delete all the posts because I was trying to find them and I couldn't find them.
Oh, but there's more up. There's more. He deleted some of them, but there's more.
He just started posting more today.
I like how he has Kim saved in his phone. Kim, other phone.
Other phone. I'm trying to pull up.
You are creating a dangerous and scary environment, and someone will repeat, this will be all your fault. Dog, this is too funny because it lets you know, these motherfuckers are just like us. They're fucking crazy and fucking unstable, just like any other relationship.
Unstable as hell.
Wow.
Yeah,
during the episode, obviously, we'll keep throwing in a lot of Kanye references as this podcast go along, but we had to lead off with that story because it keeps evolving. It's watching one about McDonald's where he pulls up in a truck.
McDonald's commercial.
Bro, I didn't see it. I seen a picture of it of him in a souped up truck outside a drive-thru. I'm watching it now.
Can
Is
I
it
get
real?
yeah, no,
He didn't.
it's a real
It's
commercial.
real. He's like in it.
Yeah, he was in it at the end.
Oh, that's it. Oh boy. Can I get a
This is
That's
the
just
greatest thing ever, though. Like,
bro.
you go to the Super Bowl, you got these expensive ass tickets, but you in a mask, dog.
Oh my yo. Did you see what I put up on my story? Personal one.
Oh yeah,
I
his
was
point of
I was
view.
dying when I seen that on Twitter. Twitter was like, that's the one thing about
Yo,
Twitter is when something like that silliness happens, and or like Super Bowl, something trendy, and people are, I don't know how people have that much time and
they're
creativity to
quick with
create
it.
these things. I
Quick
always
with
say
it.
if they could put that energy into something,
Productive.
productive in their personal life or work or whatever it is, man, they'd be really ahead of the game. But people put it into Twitter and make no money off it. It's so funny. Let
Dude.
everybody else steal it.
Yeah, Twitter is the best thing ever right now. Like, it's so quick. Like, you don't even need to wait for local news or anything. Like, Twitter is in before all of it.
It's amazing. So if any if any quotes or anything come to us while we're doing this podcast, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna label this podcast number 9. My account is not hacked,
My
because
account is not
that is the
hacked.
greatest meme. You could put anything on that legal pad, and it's
And he
classic.
dated it and everything. It's
He
like
dated it, right, just in
like
case.
someone trying to flip a pair of sneakers. They put it so you know it's you. You
Dog.
verify yourself.
It's so funny. Somebody was like, "Who actually took that picture, though? Like, who's posting some of
He
these
popped
things?
that
Who's
shit
helping?"
up.
He got a tripod and a ring. Well,
Jesus
of course, Enter the Lab is always presented by Billionaires Row BR. We'll get it out the way early. Buy yours in Total Wine. Go to Tootsie's VIP section. Get your bottle of BR and have a good night. Get a shoulder rub. Yeah, so let's jump into some football. Obviously, this if you're listening to this podcast, I'm sure you've watched Sports Center, talked with your friends at the water cooler about the Super Bowl. But hey, we'll just add on to it, give our take, and kind of have some fun with it. But we'll start off with some bets, obviously, and then we'll kind of roll into the game, because the betting and the game itself kind of are intertwined. I don't bet. This was the first time I bet all football season. Talk to us about Bet the Fort a little bit. And then we'll kind of go into what other props and what you updated, because you did on Bet the Fort have the over, and then you text me right before I could confirm this.
Yeah, right before. Yeah, I got
you had the
screenshots.
under.
I got screenshots.
You got screenshots to talk to us.
It's all good. And no, we did say when we were talking about it, we're like, "Yo, the over sounds like bait." We both said that shit. So
yeah.
No, I mean, like, as it got closer to game time, I was just like, "Yo, that shit's like." It didn't. It seemed like it was going to be a high scoring game, but that game was good, because like the fourth quarter shaped up to like a classic ending with what everyone wanted. I had tails, but it was heads.
Too.
I don't. It pissed me off, because that's the one bet I wanted to win for sure. And then I knew the Gatorade was going to be blue. If the Rams,
you bet on that?
Rams, I didn't bet on it, but I got screenshots of that too. If the Bengals would have won, that shit would have been orange.
Okay. Oh, okay? You had some inside information, or that's just obvious stuff.
I don't know. I mean,
never pay attention to that stuff.
My thought process through it.
Okay.
I figured that I don't know.
So obviously, you had a tough week with the Super Bowl. Out of the Super Bowl bets you had on record, at least, not off the record, but on the record, hashtag BTF had Rams money line over the Bengals. Got that. Coin toss tails. Lost that. Many people had tails. Over 48.5. It was the ending score was what, 43, something like that.
Yeah, 43, 28, 20,
which
23, 20.
After we talked, I bet personally $10. Just throw a little money on it. Throw $10 on the under. That was the only bet I hit out of my 6 all night. And then you had MVP Stafford, which wasn't far off. I'm sure Donald would have got it, or Stafford. Obviously, going with the quarterback is, easier.
Yeah. If Odell wouldn't have got hurt, I think Stafford would have got it, because I feel like the way they game plan, they knew that the Bengals were gonna really focus on Cooper Kupp, and they held him in check till that last drive.
Yeah,
Once
no,
Odell,
he
they were
because I had a parlay that had him going over 60, and he got over 60 in the fourth quarter or something.
yeah.
It was either late third or early fourth, so he wasn't having an amazing game up until
Half
that
his
point.
catches came in the last drive.
Yep.
So, I felt like I was so upset Odell got hurt because he was having a good game. He was balling out. But yeah, no, Cooper Kupp catching that last TD and catching two of them. That's you got to give it to him. Anyone who scores two TDs in the Super Bowl, especially the game winning one, like you got to go that way. But Stafford wasn't far off. I mean, I'm glad a wide receiver or another player got it because it's such a cliche for the QB to win it. So I was hyped Cooper Kupp got it, and that was just like a culmination of his season, like triple crown in all the stats, offensive player of the year. So like that's an awesome way to cap off your season. Win the Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP.
Yep.
Come on. It don't get better than that, dog. As a receiver or a skill player, that's the best.
Any on the bet side? Obviously, you told me off before we started. You don't have any on the air bet the Ford, and we'll get into that. Maybe some basketball. Obviously, we don't have much sports going on. This kind of like the little odd area. But any other thing you took?
I had Odell anytime TD.
Okay.
That boy Odell came through in the clutch.
Yeah, it looks
came
like
through for Drake too.
Oh yeah, what was that? I seen a post, but I didn't really read it.
Drake had him scoring anytime TD. Had him scoring. I think
it was like
yards.
plus 900, or maybe not anytime. It maybe was first score. Him scoring, it was like plus 900, but it was probably similar like that.
Yeah, him scoring first was a lot of people were putting money on that for some reason.
And then he smoked his new.
Yeah, man. I hope he's good, bro. Because
that looks like an automatic ACL,
especially non-contact. Yeah,
like 98% of the time. If it's not, it is like a miracle.
Right. At least he was like walking and was there after and whatnot. So I hope it's nothing serious because, bro, he's been through like so many injuries and then like in Cleveland and like it's always once someone wins, there's always that story and you're like, oh yeah, they deserve it. But like Odell, bro, like I'm happy he got one. Now like no one can say anything about him. Like he got a Super Bowl. So and he scored.
Yeah. That when he scored, obviously I had a parlay that it was the FanDuel same game parlay that Pat McAfee show, and they were hyping up. He put so much money on that, so I just jumped aboard. It was Odell anytime touchdown, Kupp anytime touchdown, Kupp over 60 yards, and this is a caveat, the last part, Burrow 12 rushing yards. He had three. He had three in the first half, and the only hope was that in the fourth quarter when they were making a late push or they were trying to keep the score, I thought him getting sacked and him getting out of the pocket would help. And then the last drive, before the last drive, he hurt his knee, and I knew he wasn't going to try to run the whole time. And that was the only way. The only way was if the pocket collapsed and he took off. And I bet 10 to win like 90. So that would have been all I needed that to hit, and I would have been happy, made money. But hey, that's so 1 out of 6 for me. So it wasn't bet the Fort wasn't good.
Bet the Esco wasn't either. Bet the Esco.
It wasn't good either. But what did you take away from the game other than the betting and obviously the quality of the game was good, right?
Yeah, no, the quality of the game was good. There weren't really any like major flags or anything like till the final drive, but like
I jinxed it. I said to somebody, I was like, "There's been no flags right after 3 in a row."
Jalen Ramsey can't talk shit no more. He got burned a few times. He looked pretty average. So
on that one, that was a penalty on the offense, no call.
Yeah,
but hey, that's gonna happen in sports, right?
Right. And then I was kind of surprised it took Aaron Donald that long. The Bengals offensive line did a great job of kind of just focusing on him and making sure he didn't interrupt Joe Burrow as much until the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter, he took over as you would want, you're the best player in football too, and he made plays. So I thought that was just going to be a consistent thing all night, but shout out to, Bengals O-line. They really focus on that. But big time players make big time plays in big games. So
Yeah, Chase was quiet for the most part. He had that one
Mhm.
great catch, that deep catch, but other than that, I'm sure I don't know how many catches he had, but I'd assume not over 3, right? If he had
um,
4, maybe the most.
I
And
think he had like 4 or
one
5.
big play. Yeah, he had one big
Yeah.
play and then obviously a little, first downs here and there. But yeah, I thought it was a great quality game. Can't ask more from the Bengals. Obviously, that O-line was talk going into it and
They're
didn't
gonna be
prove
back.
much. Yeah,
They'll be back.
they'll be back.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't say they'll be back to the Super Bowl that quick because if you banked on
Right.
look at Aaron Rodgers, he has one Super Bowl to show for it. He's only been to one and won
He's
one, or he's
been
been to 2.
I think he's been to 2.
If you can look that up in a little bit,
Yeah.
because I'm trying to think who he even. Oh, did he lose to Pittsburgh?
I think they beat Pittsburgh.
I don't know what the other game would be, but look that up real quick. Yeah, you could look at Aaron Rodgers, and that's what I heard today was, the counter argument of, oh, Bengals will be back. They'll definitely, Burrow's young, and it's like you look at some of these quarterbacks. It's hard to get back to the Super Bowl, but
It
it helps
is.
that Tom Brady's retired because for 20 of those years he was making half of those. So that took your chances of making the Super Bowl by 50% already. And if you were in the same division as him, it lessened your percentage.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'm looking at Rodgers trying to
Yeah.
find it right now. The crazy, the craziest thing to me is he got his 4th MVP this year, and that's as many picks as he threw this past year.
That's wild, yeah. In 2 of the 4 MVP seasons, I think he had like under 4 or 5 picks in each of those, which is ridiculous. I think if you take his 4 MVP seasons off the top of my head, I think combined, he threw like 12 picks, maybe 15 the most in those combined 4, which is ridiculous. Because the Giants quarterbacks over the last 20 years have thrown that minimally every single season.
Yeah,
Without a question.
he's only been to 1.
Been to 1, yeah. Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. I win that.
Yeah.
I win that little.
Yeah,
little
they beat the
argument.
Steelers 31-25.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, because I couldn't picture what I usually do when I picture a team or a player losing is I try to think back at that time. Like I don't remember a press conference off memory. I don't remember like an image. I try to think like that, and I go, I don't
Yeah.
remember even what team he could have lost to, and that's how I kind of
Yeah.
my brain works like that. But yeah, pure example. One of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Has only been a 1.
Throwing the damn football, slanging that thing has only been to 1. So it lets you know right then and there. But like I said, Tom Brady dominated half of those, but Tom Brady was in the AFC, so he could have made a lot more. So that equation or that percentage against him didn't factor really in the NFC. So no excuse there for sure.
That's right. Yeah.
What else about the game? Let's see. Joe Mixon throwing a touchdown. That was the first. I think
that was one of the prop bets too. Like,
was it
2.5? Yeah. How many players will throw a touchdown pass? It was like 2.5 over under.
I believe that was his first throw ever in a game.
He threw once in college, they said, and
Okay.
it was a touchdown
Well,
pass too.
College, it's a long time ago. He's been in the league 5 or 6 years. So yeah, that's crazy. Your first fucking throw as a running back. He's in the Super Bowl in the red zone. Like what the fuck?
You gotta make that count. Yeah.
And he threw it over a defender too. So it was a very nice touch pass.
With gloves on. So
he did a good job faking the run on that. What else? Obviously, Odell catching the first touchdown, like we said. Cooper Kupp coming down. Obviously, social media blows up once it's 14-0 or 14-3. Like, they're dominating, just like Kansas City was dominating the Bengals the last time. But it's way too early in the game. Come on. And then Bengals showed exactly what got them there. They showed some grit.
Yeah. After that, so once they scored to start the second half, they got a pick right after, and I was like, oh shit. If they would have scored again, I would have been like, okay, now we got a game. But I don't think they even scored. I was surprised on some of the 4th down calls, to be honest, just because like normally I'm like, yeah, go for it. But like it's a Super Bowl, so like you gotta make it count sometimes. So there was a lot of 4th down stops. I was surprised at that, but I guess you got to go aggressive and just try and get it done. You got to run. You're running your best plays at that time. So
yeah, I feel like who went for it first on fourth down early? It was the Bengals at like the 40. Who was that? Somebody went for it super early. I'm pretty sure it was the
Yeah, I think it
Bengals.
was. Yeah, it might have been their first drive.
Yeah, first or second drive they went, and I like that. At the end of the day, I mean, got to be aggressive. You're not. I was telling somebody yesterday, you weren't supposed to be there anyway. Don't play
Right.
in fear. The team that like the Giants were back in their day, back when they won, was they played overly confident because they knew they weren't supposed to be there, and they definitely knew they weren't supposed to win. So go out there, go on fourth down, try to make big plays down the field, and
Pull out
see
all
what
the
happens.
stops.
It's the only way you beat great teams, and that's a great team that Pro Bowl, all pro talent on that team
Yeah.
on all three phases of the field. You got to go out and take chances. And I like that they did that in the beginning. Great season by them overall, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think they said the last 2 years they won a combined total of 6 games, and you win half of that in the playoffs to get to the Super Bowl. So I think if they keep that young core together, they're definitely going to be a team to watch. And I don't know what the Rams contract situation stuff is, but
Oh yeah,
they
they
got to
got a bunch of free agents.
they got to figure out how to keep some of those pieces to kind of make it back. But they did what they started the season out, like traded for Stafford, and that was their goal from day one: get to the Super Bowl and win that shit. Because
they went all in. They traded away assets, draft picks, and they got some older veterans, and they got some guys that were on waived like Odell or on their contract here. They needed to win, like some of these teams do. Tampa did it a couple years back, all in, or what was that last year? 2 years.
last year, yeah.
Yeah, all in, and now the model is: do you go all in like an NBA team? Obviously, it's a lot harder to do it in football. Non-guaranteed contracts, 53 people on a team, so it's a lot harder than to do it in NBA or something like that, where you go all in on 12 players or essentially only 6 players, because you could play 6 players every single game in the playoffs. But yeah, any last thoughts about the game itself? Because there's a lot of, obviously, before the game, halftime, after the game, that I want to get into and have some fun with.
It was just a good football game. Tough in the trenches. The running game was tough. There wasn't any like super big rushing gains, like 12, 15 yards maybe at that. It was a good game. I enjoyed it. I think that the better team won, and we'll see what happens next year. I already miss football, man.
Yeah, it's this is the most football I've ever watched. I think it had to do a part of doing the podcast. Obviously, we started utility players last year during this time. We're probably on a 1 year anniversary at this point, or a couple of years ago. So that helped watching, at the end. I remember we had an episode with the Super Bowl. So with the podcast, it made me watch more football, having Red Zone again. This year, I think last year I didn't have it, or the year before I actually had it on YouTube TV. Watching Pat McAfee show every single day, where they dominate football. They break it down. They have fun with it. So this is the most football I've consumed in a very long time. And I'm glad I got back into it, because it's fun, man. There's a lot going on. The NBA is the best reality show on TV, because there's so much behind the scenes, with the players, the teams, the brand, and, the drama that goes on there. But football is a great movie. You know what I mean? Like NBA reality show.
That's what they were saying.
And football is a movie.
With Halle Berry. Did you see that before the game? What she did?
No.
I
just made that up, by the way. That analogy. I that was unrehearsed. I just came off. I was just thinking of reality show and movie. Like that's how I would equate it.
That's funny. Nah, she had this little pre-game thing before America the Beautiful and the national anthem and stuff, where she was like, "Oh, football is we're in LA. It's a movie. It's film. Fantasy turns to reality." And then they had crazy Super Bowl moments, and they were put in it with football movies. Remember the Titans, some older football movies, stuff like that. So it's funny you said that. They were like, "Yeah, this shit's scripted, bro. We know who's gonna win."
That's funny. So based on that, because I'm sure everybody's sick of either talking about the game itself, let's talk about the fun stuff. So before the game, I always complain. I sound like my dad when I say this. Is he used to always say like, "Let's play the fucking game already," because they got 3 national anthems. They got to fly the Air Force across the stadium. Then they got to do a coin toss that takes 10 minutes itself. Then The Rock comes out of nowhere. All
The
cool,
Rock out
all
of
great.
nowhere. Yeah.
But man, like I show up to a party, we're eating food, and we think every time they do a different segment, it's promo or advertisement, then a commercial. Then they come back, and these guys are standing on the sidelines. These players are used to. You play 17, 18 games the same way for the whole year, and then that's why the Super Bowl is not the same game. It isn't just the same game between the lines. It's a different. It's played at a different speed with different intensity. What did you think about The Rock? Even the Billy King like coin toss took a while. They sang 3 songs.
Yeah,
like,
it was a little extra, but I mean it's LA, so they had to go
even more so, right? It's got to be the drama's turned up a little bit.
I think that's the first time I can remember. I don't know, maybe I just got terrible memory by now, but first time they do someone like that doing could be the coin flip, the coin toss. Like I don't remember them bringing some famous person to do it.
Yeah, usually it is. They usually do. I don't think, like I said, it
took her like 30 minutes to walk.
Yeah, she's old. She's a legend, tennis legend. But I think usually it depends on what you're doing. You know what I mean? If you're at a party and you're chopping it up, you're not really looking. I happen to be right in front of the TV the whole time, so I'm watching all these segments happen. And I love The Rock. The Rock is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, favorite humans of all time.
We talked about he was going to do something. We just didn't
know. I think we might have broke it on this podcast last week, right?
Never know.
Sources, trust us. I was hyped for that, but like I was so fed up about like all the national anthems and all that going on that I was over it. By the time he came on, I was like, all right, let's play the fucking game already. Come on. I want to see the coin toss. I want to see first score, field goal. That's what I had. So I was down $20 before in the first minute or so. So I was over it. I was waiting on that parlay. That was my only hope, and Joe Burrow couldn't get it done for me.
Joe Burrow. Yeah, I mean, it was cool that they did a few different songs, maybe I just like seeing Janae Aiko, but
same,
so yeah, like you said, it's definitely not another game. You gotta you go out there, warm up. They were out on the field before, then they went back to the locker room, and then they come back, and you got to do all this again. It's like, let's play football, So it's like you got to do a dress rehearsal before these things get it all right.
I think they do that. I'm pretty sure the veteran teams or teams that try to think ahead do some things where they do walkthroughs of waiting and then kind of having practice, but you can't prepare for any of it. You know what I mean? You could run it through practice. You could tell people this is how it's going to be, but when it goes on, you got 50,000 people, electric. You hear the fucking planes going over your head. It's a Super Bowl. You got The Rock going. It's electrifying with the millions. Like you can't prepare for that. You know what I mean? You just gotta turn it up. And that's why the Super Bowl is great, because you get to see who gets to turn it up to another level.
Yeah.
Long season. Halftime show.
Long season. Halftime show, man.
What are your feedback? And then I'll get mine.
I liked it. I had just I watched the first half right after I got home from the gym, and I was like, I gotta take a shower. So I had my computer propped up while I was taking a shower trying to watch this shit, and it was good, bro. I enjoyed it. I mean, it was just how Snoop and Dre came off rip. They got all these people tweeting how about Snoop Dogg was smoking a joint before the halftime show. What the fuck do you expect is Snoop Dogg? Of course. I'm surprised he didn't light up. That's no news. I'm surprised that's not a news story. While he was doing the show.
I seen that video right before that he was smoking the blunt, ducking in the staircase, getting his tokes in.
Come on, dude. I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this because I've clowned these artists a few times in the past few years, just because I'm upset that one hasn't really dropped music and the other one's just doing whatever. I love Kendrick Lamar's performance. I think he killed it, and Eminem did his thing. They told him not to kneel, and he was like, "Fuck that, I'm kneeling anyway."
Yeah, I didn't even notice that during the performance. So they blew it up after the fact because I didn't even see it or notice it.
They always do. They always do. Mary J. Blige did her thing.
Yeah, my take on it was I feel like it felt shorter than it is because when you want people to keep going, it's always going to feel short. So when it ended, I was like, oh, that was quick. I think the people I was
they're
with
gonna do an
thought the same
encore.
thing.
They're gonna do some other stuff.
I thought they were
I
going to
thought
do
so.
one last song. I don't know
Yeah.
what it was going to be, maybe a mashup. When it ended, I said, you know what? It's fine because everybody did one song. They did some classics. The performance was clean, no mess ups, no like awkwardness, and the volume and the quality of sound you could hear. A lot of these stadiums, I think, or artists, the sound check isn't proper. I think The Weeknd had some issues like that. A couple other artists that I've heard before. You know, something about watching a concert live. You know, going to a concert live sometimes doesn't sound quality. You know what I mean? You can't hear the sound. I went to Kendrick Lamar in Miami, and it was probably the worst quality concert I've ever heard in my life. Maybe it was the acoustics of the arena itself. Maybe they didn't do the sound check right, but it was the worst. Obviously, I love Kendrick. He's my favorite rap artist. It's like I've said it on the pod. Him, Cole, and Drake. He's my probably number one personal fave. But yeah, that was it was a good performance. I think Kendrick really brought it up another level with his young energy with his dance crew and doing the yeah. I thought I thought that brought it up a good level. I liked the way they sandwiched Dr. Dre, then they did 50 Cent, then Mary J, and then him because they put him in the middle and brought it up. And Kendrick's gonna put out a new album soon. I think he did a little sound bite or a little couple bars from his new song coming up because I thought they said that he was gonna perform a new song. So I think they took a couple of the bars. If you listen back, which I had it on NFL Network earlier, if you listen back, he had a couple bars that I never heard before, or maybe I don't remember. So maybe that's a song that's about to come out. Overall, thought it was good. If it's obviously, if you wanted to keep going and you thought it was short, that means it was good. But the only
hilarious, bro.
Yeah, right. He's big. I didn't know how big he got. He doesn't look unhealthy. He just looks big. You know what I mean?
But he put on some weight.
Pause.
He's been eating too many bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah.
50. They said due to inflation, he's $1 now.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I like that one. What else was I gonna say?
The dancing was good, like the choreography or whatever you call it. That was on point. You know,
I figured Eminem was gonna do Lose Your. I felt like Eminem was gonna do Lose Yourself because it's his biggest quote unquote song. But I thought he could have done something with more personality to get people like laughing and having fun. But he kept it simple.
Yeah, it's not like he doesn't have any songs with those people. So yeah. And then when Dre got on the piano, I was hyped, bro. Dre was killing that.
I knew it. Once he sat down on the piano, I knew what song was coming up.
Yeah.
Fucking LeBron James going nuts.
Yo. You were like, all right, calm down.
I swear, yo. Relax. Bro, that's what I said. Relax.
Like 8 exclamation marks. Like, yeah,
I think I might.
Okay.
I might do that from now on because I seen another tweet from him today. I was about to retweet it and say relax again. Like, dog, you too hype. Relax, bro.
You're a grown man.
We get it. You like everyone. You like every artist. You like every team. You love positivity, all that. We get it. It's old.
I'm surprised he wasn't rooting for the Bengals. You know, he's from Ohio, so like.
Bro, he's a clown.
If the Bengals would have been playing anybody but the Rams, he would have been rooting for the Bengals.
I hate this guy. He's so corny.
He like that?
He's so corny. I love him on the court. After he gets off the court,
like
he just goes uncool. Like I've never seen an athlete go uncool
husband,
the moment he's
like he's a good father.
Yeah, great guy. Whatever.
Great guy overall, but like I don't know if I would want to hang out with LeBron.
Bro.
Besides to like the advantages of it, you know, that might come, but
of course. That's obvious. But take LeBron's personality and put it in person A's body and he comes over your crib, you're gonna want him out of your house immediately. Easily. And that's cool. That's fine. You can't have everything. You can't be a great athlete, a billionaire, and a cool personality. Like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, you got give and take.
Can't have it all. He's got to have one weakness in his armor or something. But hey, it's good to clown him. I hope he keeps tweeting exclamation points. I hope he keeps not cursing. He keeps doing HELL
Double hockey
hockey
sticks.
sticks. If you guys don't know, if you don't follow LeBron James on Twitter and you're listening to this, go ahead and Google some of his tweets. He doesn't curse for some reason. He uses emojis as if he's not a grown adult. Like he's weird. He's definitely got weirdo vibes.
Gosh.
And just to update everybody, the Brooklyn Nets are up 19 points with 8 minutes to go. We may do the impossible and win a fucking game because we're on an 11-game slide. That game with I didn't watch the Heat game, but Kyrie obviously scored 20 fucking points in the fourth.
He snapped right? In the fourth. Yeah,
I didn't watch any of it.
I didn't watch the game, to be honest, but I saw his highlights in the fourth, and he was doing Kyrie things. You know, I hate that he can't. Man, like that shit is so stupid, bro. Like,
bro, Holiday right now that plays for the Kings is playing, and he's not vaccinated.
He's
not vaccinated. They're like, what?
It makes absolutely no sense to me why that is how it is. I wish he could play all games because not only is it taken away from the Nets and chemistry-wise and viewership and
we all lose
more points, we lose. We lose as fans watching, and we can't see a great player play, and it's just terrible for basketball.
Absolutely, I agree. With that being said, let's get into some NBA trade deadline. It was a very active day. Let's see. Off the top, we had a lot of trades. I like the Derek White trade of him going from the Spurs to the Boston Celtics. I think they have caught momentum in the East, moving up the standings. They were on a 7-game winning streak or 8-game before that trade, and now they're on a 9 or an 8, whatever it is. He adds to that team because he was having a great year. Spurs gave that team a legit player. Obviously, the main news: Harden goes to Philly, which I read and heard that was being concocted since January, bro. Like, or it was it started. If you want to really go back, it's really started in like the off-season training camp, little by little. But in January, that's when it really came. Like, all right, we got to figure this out. I think the Harden's agent and KD's agent met and like talk like, hey, I don't think it's working. Like, and Harden was being a chump. I don't think he talked directly to KD because I heard a report today that by the time it got back to KD that Harden was upset or was feeling this way, it was already too late. Like that's not your best friend. It's still your boy that you go to war with every single day in regards of sports, and you're hiding it. So I don't like that character. That's some fake shit, some phony shit. That's another dude I wouldn't hang around. You know what I mean? Like, how did somebody come to your crib, act in some way, and they leave immediately, and then be like, yo, by the way, this and that, and you have to hear about it right after? It's like you never want to be around that person regardless of how cool they are or how much money they have or what they bring to the table.
Harden just wants to chill with little baby and go to strip clubs.
His priorities are weird, bro.
I mean, I don't really know what he's got going on. I feel like
he's got mental health. If you want to talk about Ben Simmons, let's talk about James Harden. He might got some more mental health than Ben Simmons, if we want to be honest.
Who knows? I mean, it's tough for these NBA players sometimes, like to fit in a certain situation, and it just doesn't make sense how it didn't like work out better because it's not like those two haven't played together before. Like they played together on another team.
It's not like they don't
already.
know each other.
Yeah, it's like
they haven't spent millions of hours together over the last 10 years of their lives. Like, come on.
I think y'all won the trade, though. To be honest.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a good trade because he probably wasn't going to re-sign there, and he wasn't playing to what he should have been playing, and it just sucks that he got hurt during the playoffs, and now with COVID, Kyrie couldn't get in there, and in 2.5 years, or not that long, like a year and a half, they only played 16 games together, and
it went 13-3.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how good of a talent you have, how good of superstars you have. Like basketball is like a very flow game in motion, and you can kind of pick it up, but it takes time to really figure out, especially with those three type of players. that they can go anywhere else and be the number one option on their team. So,
and I hate people that are comparing, like, first of all, the pandemic is nothing like anything that sports have experienced. So if you want to talk about, like, oh, if Kyrie would have done this, or if this wouldn't have, injuries would happen, there's so many variables in winning a championship or doing well in sports that is hard without a pandemic, without injuries. You add that to the fold, which has happened to this team, you're looking at that number of an honest percentage of them winning going way down, just because shit happens, situations, snowball out of their control. Obviously, the Kyrie thing, I understand, because I'm kind of in the same situation with him, where it's like, I'd rather not do something because I don't want to fucking do it. There's athletes on a visiting team coming to his arena, being able to play, and he's not. And he said it this week or last week. He said, if I played for any other team, this wouldn't be talked about.
Yeah.
And he's right.
Exactly.
It just so happens he plays for one of the two teams he cannot do this with, or one of the three, because I think Toronto, both New York teams or whatever, but like one of three teams. So I get him on that, but hey, it was supposed to happen, because if James Harden was not willing to go through this little, like, all right, Kyrie's not playing, you're still by the way, when he started to complain about all this, allegedly, they were still number one in the East. So Kyrie's not playing. KD got hurt or whatever. He wasn't hurt when he started complaining about this. Everything's going well. What are you complaining about? So he didn't want to be there. This was him getting out of Houston, coming to Brooklyn was only a small piece or the next step to get somewhere else. That's what it was.
It's just like, bro,
which is
like,
weird.
You're a great player. All right. Like, yeah, you started as a 6-man, but you were doing your thing as a 6-man. They traded you. Maybe he's just upset still about that. And like, you go to Houston where he won MVP.
Yeah.
He won. You win an MVP.
I think he went to the Western Conference Finals once.
Conference Finals, yeah,
with Chris Paul, and they were really close with winning over Golden State.
They blew a 3-1 lead.
And then Chris Paul got hurt, and that's what happened.
So it's like you force your way out of there. Now you go to Brooklyn. You're back with your homie KD, and now you force your way out of there. Like, how many places are you going to? Like, now you're gonna play with Joel Embiid. Like, if there's another player that's gonna fuck with you, like, it's gonna be Joel Embiid. Like,
yeah, like, how do you think that's a better situation to a guy that's made out of glass that hasn't been on the court? And once Joel gets hurt, you guys are cooked. Like, at least if like Kyrie gets hurt, they're still in it. KD goes down, you could still. Joel gets hurt, you guys are done. There's no chance.
But then you're gonna force your way out of Philly again, like,
bro. It's all about character. At the end of the day, that contract that you said he didn't sign with us in the offseason, what did he do the moment he landed in Philly? He re-signed, or he opted in. He didn't do that with us. But also, he's gonna demand $50 million a year when he's like 35, 36. The man can't shoot. He needs the ball. He's not a shooter, right? He's a scorer.
Yeah, he's a scorer.
We see in the NBA over the last 10 years how scorers develop after the age of 35. If you can't shoot, like LeBron James is a freak, so he gets away with being not a shooter because he can dominate in other ways.
The rules have changed drastically, especially for his game in the last year, where certain things
You're not getting those calls.
He's not going to get those calls. So
fuck him, let him burn.
Yeah. Oh man, Trailblazers.
I'm glad I didn't buy a jersey though, but go ahead.
That's true. I was about to say Trailblazers about to be in full reconstruction mode because I think they get Lillard out of there too. I mean, once you trade away CJ McCollum, like, there's only one type of thing that's gonna happen after that. So
they might they have plans to bring in a Beal or something like that. Maybe they're trying to, because you don't make a deal with that and not trade away Dame or tell Dame, like, hey, we got a plan in motion. Maybe because all these agents and shit, they know shit about things that are happening a year out. Like, this Harden thing was allegedly being developed over the last 6 months and nobody really knew about it. And he had the balls to come out and be like, oh, those rumors aren't true. If I don't say it, then it's not true.
Right.
Meanwhile, it was happening. It's like these guys like Woj and Shams, they get paid to do exactly what they're doing. They're rarely wrong. Like they never have to tweet out something and then go, oh shit, by the way, this wasn't right. Like they're really right a lot of the time. And these athletes try to tell the public like, nah, that's not real. It's like all the time. It's real. It's confirmed. But yeah, the Heat are obviously in first place ahead of Chicago. Shout out Jared Allen, made the All-Star replacing Harden, former net. Him and LeVert teamed up, which I love. That's my second favorite team right now. I don't give a fuck. That's like that was my favorite Nets team, Jared Allen, D'Lo, LeVert. So to watch them flourish together, obviously the Bucks are making moves. Philly, hopefully they rot in hell, but
yeah,
Nets hopefully will win tonight. And we, hey, no longer 11 in a row. We got 1 in a row after this. So I don't want to count my chickens, but we are we're up 14 with 4 minutes. If they blow this, we don't deserve to go to the playoffs. So I'll say it right here, right now. Other than that, the Knicks still suck. Phoenix is still the number 1 best team in the entire league. Golden State making that push. Got to get healthy. But that's really it. LA sucks. Shout out Dom. Shout out Dom in general. Got the LA connection with the Lakers a couple years ago with the Rams. Now I texted him, said, quote, wish I could say you deserve it, but you don't. But
Mavs traded Kristaps.
He's a good guy. Oh, also shout out Dom. He's not going to listen to this because I don't think he listens to podcasts.
He's not a podcast
us.
guy.
But hey, maybe somebody that knows him. But he just got a house in Orlando. Talked to him on the side.
Nice.
Big house.
Congrats on that.
It's amazing, dude. I'm envious of that. It motivated me after we talked a little. Yeah, huge. Motivated me a lot to step my game up and start looking at things because I see people get a big house and I'm like, I need bigger.
Big.
Yeah, that's all I got. NBA trade deadline. Obviously, what the Kings did with Sabonis, they got traded away Buddy Hield, Halliburton going.
Halliburton.
That was a shock to the entire NBA landscape.
Yeah.
What other deals were made? Let's see. Kristaps Porzingis going from the Mavs to the Wizards. Dinwiddie going the opposite way.
Dinwiddie.
I think that's a chess move because I don't think both teams think that that's the trade that's going to be them to step up. I think that's one move to do another move maybe in the offseason.
Yeah.
So we'll watch that. Lakers didn't make any moves. They're going to be on the buyout.
They tried to. No one wanted Russ.
You know why? Because they don't want to help him out. They're like, yo, fuck. Well, first of all, they don't want Russ. But also they're like, you know what? Why would we help out the Lakers? Because they're one small couple pieces away from just elevating again. Don't help them out. What else happened in NBA? Anything? Trying to look down the teams.
KD not wanting to take Harden when they were picking all-star teams.
That NBA draft. This is why the NBA is ahead of the other
league in
leagues.
Sports.
It is because
so
it's reality
dramatic.
TV. They know. So when they first did the split up the East and West and made it drafting teams, they did the first time and it was LeBron and Curry. And LeBron suggested to the NBA, we should do this live, like make it a thing. Boom. LeBron, let me write a check to LeBron real quick. Like he just had the greatest suggestion because year after year, there was some drama. Last year, Rudy Gobert, there was some drama with the Utah Jazz and all that. And then this year, you could tell in the first few picks, Durant was not going to pick Harden. I think he would have picked him last if he had to, and then tried to trade him because it was just Durant doesn't care. Like Ernie asked him, "Hey, you going to tell us anybody about your injury?" He was like, "Nope,
no."
He don't care. He's all about business, but he could also have fun with it though. Like he's not a dick, but he could also try to like chop it up and have fun. Like, but he's going to answer you direct, and you got to respect somebody like that. At the end of the day. He's not giving the PR answer. Yeah, keep talking. I got to plug in.
Oh, no, you're good.
Real quick.
I was going to say that was funny. I don't know how you take Rudy Gobert over James Harden in anything, but.
Right. How funny. He goes, we need size, so I'm going to have to go with. Like, you don't need size in the All-Star game. Shut up.
In the All-Star game, yeah. Anybody that cries because they didn't make the All-Star team should not be getting picked. So
that was so. I want to rewatch that like soon because this man said, I don't know, we need size. And then Charles
LeBron's got
Barkley the whole
clipboard.
time. Charles Barkley the whole time's like, yo, don't pick. He told LeBron, don't pick him. Don't pick him. Let Durant, make that decision. I thought that was great TV.
It is great TV, and it makes
that was one of the best NBA moments in a while. Like on live television. That was great.
Yeah.
That's it for NBA. For me, we covered a lot today, man. I'm hyped. We got a lot of topics going on. The last topic that we have, UFC 271. We'll cover it real quick.
That was a great main card, man.
Fort David showed up. He went, 4-1?
4-1, I believe, yeah.
4-1. Israel Adesanya in the main event, beat by decision. Whitaker. I was at one point we were in the theater. Dog, we at the party again. I got there for like 4:30, maybe 4:30, 4:45. From let's say 5 o'clock till about 1 a.m. I was in, what is that, 6-7 hours? I was in there 5 hours of it. Like, I didn't move, bro. I was like bringing people in. I was orchestrating where people should sit, bringing people beers. Like, I was fucking leading that shit. I didn't want to move because I knew. I ordered the fight. I still don't even know who paid for that fight. I think the house had to pay because I thought I ordered it on my account. I woke up the next morning like fucked up. I was like, oh, let me check my credit card. It's not on my account. So I guess I ordered it to their Xfinity. So Malu, if you have an issue, DM me and get the money because you ain't getting it, bitch.
Shout out for the PPV.
Yeah. So Adesanya wins in the middleweight title fight.
Closer fight than
what are your thoughts on that?
I expected myself. I thought Izzy is almost impossible to bring down. Whitaker did a good job of that, but the dude is 6'4", and he's got an 80-inch reach. So his reach is longer paws than he is tall. So you're going to have a tough time hitting him. And then once he gets like a base, you're not going to bring him down again. So he's definitely he's undefeated in that weight class. He only lost to Blachowicz when he went up to light heavyweight.
Yeah. Which when you do that, you get a pass. It's kind of like one of those like, all right, comma or asterisk.
Yeah. So I'm excited for who he's going to fight next because he could fight Sean Strickland, which Sean Strickland is fucking beast. He doesn't tire out. He's very, very technical. He just hits you with the jab. Kind of just like Izzy. They're both really precise with the jab. Or he could fight Jerry Cannonier, who was the fight before the two main, the co-event and then the main fight. I was surprised how he fought. He said no one else should get Izzy next besides him. I was hyped that he did that because that's already kind of setting it up. So Cannonier was impressive. He came back after I thought he was about to get choked out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna set up that fight. But Adesanya, man, I don't think anyone has a shot to beat him right now in his weight class because he's and you can tell he's really like changed himself as a person and like his whole persona and like who he really is. Like I thought he was gonna come out and do like more like wild, crazy shit, like walking in the fight or whatnot. But
I think that's out of respect too.
Yeah,
knowing.
Yeah,
right?
Got to be because Whitaker did his thing and Whitaker tagged him a few times and definitely fought him how you're supposed to fight Izzy, in my opinion. So he Adesanya wasn't talking a lot of shit. There were no theatrics. He was just there for business. So
I like that.
And he got business done. I don't know if 48-47 was what I think it was more 49-46, but I don't know who he fights next. I'm excited to see who he fights next, but pound for pound right now, besides maybe Usman, it's Izzy. It's all Nigerians and Nigerian boys running the UFC right now.
Is John Jones making a comeback? Because I have yet since I've watched UFC, now it's going on 3 years. I've yet to watch him, I think, fight a live fight. I think I probably did back in the day, like if it was on or if I was out, but I've yet in my 3 years, because obviously suspensions and all like his nonsense going on in his personal life, I've yet to watch a fight of his in the 3 years I've been really locked into UFC.
Yeah, I hope he does come back. I haven't really heard anything like stable yet, but it just seems that every time he's going to come back, he does something like on his own. Like it's his own decision. Like it's his fault not coming back. Like it's not a technicality, or it's not the UFC doing something that doesn't make him come back. He just does something stupid like right before. It's like, bro,
Right?
like come on, you're right there. Like so, honestly, it might not even be in him anymore to fight. He's just I don't know.
Yeah,
But that
hey,
boy
mental
Ty
wealth.
Bam Bam Tuivasa, yeah, mental wealth, yeah. That fight, man, like that fight was so much fun because him and Derek Lewis, because you knew there was only one way it was going to end. There was no way that shit was going to decision. There was no way they
Slept
were
him,
gonna
bro.
like submit each other, like nothing. You knew one of them two was gonna knock each other out.
Off the memory, like I said, I was by the time that fight came up, I was hammered. My shirt. Bree told me the next day my shirt was off during the last fight. So like I was like, what? Because it was hot in the movie theater area. So I remember why I took my shirt off. But I was fucking, when I get
he
into
was
it.
on one.
But did he sleep him on like a sneaky punch, or
It
it
was
wasn't something?
elbow. It was
Got you.
elbow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was a right elbow right to like the side of the
Ooh.
face.
And
And
that's a
Derek
big
Lewis,
motherfucker to go down, right?
dude, yes. Derek Lewis just felt like he got sniped. Bro, in the first round, I thought Derek Lewis had him because he had Tuivasa against the cage, and he was just like, bro, he hit him like 3-4 times, and like anyone else is going down by that second
Yelling
one, if not the first
timber.
one. Yeah, you're falling down getting
Uh-huh.
two, three Derek Lewis haymakers right there, and I don't know, bro. Like I don't know how Ty Tuivasa stayed, bro, and then to come back and knock him out, man. We're gonna quote
God
Dom a
bless.
lot because Dom texted me and said 0-2 at home for Derek Lewis
Yeah.
and on Black History Month. So
That is
that
true.
was
Yeah, the last time he's fought, because he's
yeah,
from Houston, right? I remember that. That
yeah.
was the
He
first time
fought
I
Cyril
seen him.
Gahn. Yeah,
That was
he
the
fought
first time I
Cyril Gahn
seen
and
him like
lost.
really fight in that fight. That was my first time, and I remember that was a big deal because he was home.
Yeah, yeah. But hey, Tai Tuivasa, man, he's so great for the UFC. Like he's awesome, bro. I love it. He's doing shoeies, and I'm glad no one put no hot sauce in his shit this time. But he's
Is that what somebody did last time?
yeah, last time. He's
That's
awesome
funny.
for the UFC, man. I hope he gets a
So
good
good,
fight
yeah.
next, and I'm excited to see him unfold with his career because he's good. He's good. He just you don't want to fight that guy.
You yeah. Sometimes, and it's funny. Maybe I'll send it to you. Brock Lesnar was on the Pat McAfee show, and he never does interviews, like especially candid interviews where he's himself. And he was on Pat for like 30 minutes today, like being himself. When he talked about the UFC, talked about WWE, and he had a lot of like good things to say about like you got to sell yourself, you got to be the product. So even if you're in WWE or UFC, the same rules apply. You need to
Yeah,
be
100%.
the main. How are you building your way up, not only in the ring but outside the ring? Obviously, McGregor is the biggest guy in UFC inside the ring, but more so outside the ring.
Outside,
Can
yeah.
you create a gimmick? Saying the word gimmick doesn't devalue what I'm trying to say. Just can you create a brand? Maybe that's the better use of words.
Persona,
That
like,
persona
yeah,
that people are attracted. That be like, wait, how much is that fight? 70? Fuck it,
okay,
let's buy it
yeah,
because
who
I know
cares?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna get a show inside and out,
And
and that's what
it doesn't matter if you're likable or unlikable. Because
Yep.
if you're unlikable, even more because they're gonna tune
Chances,
into
chances are
yeah,
unlikable even better.
yeah. They're gonna tune in to
Adesanya's
see you get
likable too.
whooped.
That's what's
Yeah,
weird,
Adesanya's.
but he
But
does it in a different way.
with him is different though because there's a lot of people that really like him, and then there's some people that don't like him.
Really?
But it's like, yeah, but it's like, bro, how can you not like this guy? Like he's good for the sport, and I don't know. Sometimes he might do a little too many antics, and people
Yeah.
don't really care for
Hey,
it,
but he's being himself, and you know that he's not
exactly.
trying. Like,
Yeah,
you don't get the vibe that he's trying to be somebody else. That's who he is.
yeah. Nah, he's like I said, he's the greatest right now. I think, in my opinion, him and Usman, and it's just fun to watch. It's just fun to watch. It's a good sport, and I enjoy it, man.
Are they able to fight? What's that class look like? Like, are they able to
um,
figure out something that could happen that way? What would have to happen to make that
I
fight
don't
happen?
I don't know if they want to fight each other. They said they don't want to fight each other unless
Yeah.
they get like I think it was like 100 mil or some
It'd have to
shit.
be a big bag, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
and UFC's
definitely
not
big
probably
bag.
ready.
No,
UFC's not ready to put that fight out because they would have to pay it out, and
yeah,
yeah, that
that
that probably wouldn't be. That would
definitely.
be
Yeah,
something if the UFC was looking for a big main event and they had nobody and they were like, all right, this is
that
it.
would be it. Yeah, that would definitely be it. I think Usman's at like 155, 160
Damn,
or
that's crazy.
something. So
155.
so
Dude, I
like
weighed that when I moved down to Florida and I was
let me double check on
famished.
that because
I was
I want to
famished.
make sure.
I was hungry every day. Like, went to, I took, they say I took, for lunch, I took naps because I
For
couldn't
lunch, I
afford
took
it.
nap.
Yeah.
He
That's how you
weighs
know you're,
170. He weighs
okay.
170, but
That's
I don't.
still, yeah, that's still 20
Yeah,
pounds, 25 pounds than I weigh now. Yeah. Less than I weigh
and
now.
he's 6 foot tall.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, but they're obviously lean and better
Yeah,
humans than I am. I can't even compare. Anything else left over on UFC front? We got a good card,
Masvidal
obviously,
Kobe.
coming up. Yep, talk about
Yeah,
it.
Masvidal Kobe. I'm super excited for that just because of the history between those two dudes. They used to spar together. They were fucking roommates. They were great friends, best of
Hey, try
friends,
to
and
make it
then
down. Try to make it down for that fight because we're doing on that night, and I'll get permission. I'll get you approved. Obviously, we're doing the house again, and we'll be there for Manny's, situation, person, woman. I don't like to throw out labels out there, but she's having her party there, and that's booked. And we're gonna do the same thing over again. I'm gonna be fucking lit in the
it'd be
lab,
fucking
so
lit.
that'd be dope. Yeah, please, that'd be dope. Maybe if you come, I think the Bet the Farm dudes will be there. They're good people.
Okay,
We exchanging numbers, so maybe we could go live on
nice.
somebody's phone and have some fun with that. That'd be dope.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Let me
I'll get
check my
you and
schedule.
Fort David approved, dude.
Yeah.
That'll be
Oh, that'd be
fun. Tell
great.
me,
That'd be
that'll
great.
be
Yeah,
lit.
that'd be a good time.
Make that
Good
happen.
time. Yeah.
March 5th,
I'm excited.
305.
305. But
Damn.
shit, that fight, like I was saying, those two dudes were great friends, and now they just don't like each other. They really don't like each other, and most of the time it's just for show. It's to sell the fight, but that shit's personal between them. And I hope Jorge wins, just for Miami and 305 shit. But I think Kobe's gonna pull it off, bro.
Yeah, I'll hold my thoughts on it, and I like that
It's
you
still a long
mentioned it
time.
and said so.
Still a long
Yeah, a
time.
lot of
Almost a
time, a lot of
month.
build up. God forbid, Masvidal had to drop out of a fight recently and
Yeah,
couldn't
no
fight, so I don't
injuries.
want to. I don't
We
want to
just
talk
want
about
it
it,
to
and
happen.
then it's hollow. But yeah, that's going to be a great. We'll talk about that the week before, and we'll definitely cover that, and hopefully we link up. We'll do
UFC
Instagram live or something
273
like
in
that.
Jacksonville.
Which one's that? 273
Um,
is what I'm looking at the
yeah,
schedule now.
April. I think it's like April 9th, April
Ooh,
10th.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Peter
For the
Yan's
featherweight.
fighting. Yeah, there's two title
Peter
fights.
Young and Sterling, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Peter
a
Yan and
that's a
Sterling.
co-main event.
Yeah, that's the first time Sterling's fought since he
Yep.
won, quote unquote, to a technicality against
Yeah.
Peter Yan, and then
That's gonna be a good one.
Volkanovski and Korean Zombie.
Woo! We got some good UFC,
And
bro.
Jax.
They're
I might have to pull up again because
I don't know
can't be
about
UFC events.
the word pimp out. The UFC pimps their fighters, dog. You know it. They
don't pay him that
underpay
great.
and they fucking have these motherfuckers fight 3 times a year. So I don't know.
Yeah.
As a viewer, obviously we're fucking spoiled because at least once a month we're watching great quality fights, and you don't get that anywhere else. Like boxing, you don't get that. So, oh, by the way, speaking boxing, Triple G, Canelo. Hopefully that happens. That'll be the third fight, right?
Third, maybe
so.
fourth.
Is it the fourth?
I'll check, but
These motherfuckers
I
had
know
some
they fought
battles.
a few times. Yeah.
Yeah, check that real quick.
One last thing about UFC. Israel Adesanya was wearing his knockout of Whitaker on his little gold chain, his NFT moment. I think that marketplace opens tomorrow. Brought it up a few times. Have to, things go to the fighters, so that's pretty dope. And you can own a dope ass moment of UFC. UFC versus Triple G versus Canelo. Two was 2018. Yeah, it's gonna be the fourth one.
Fourth?
Yeah.
Why not? Nothing else is going on in boxing. Why not create those two motherfuckers that you know you're gonna get a good quality fight?
Oh no, it hasn't yet. They've only fought twice.
Oh, they fought twice or three?
The trilogy that never was, yeah.
Got you. Yeah, I think I don't know if it was finalized. I thought I read something that it was final, but they're still working on it, I think.
Yeah, those two dudes, man, that's what you want to watch in boxing because they both go at it.
For real.
They both go at it.
All right, let's wrap this up. What else? You got any random shout outs, any on the side you're working with, personal life, stuff like that?
No, nothing necessarily. We talked about it before. Only thing I really wanted to mention was 4-year anniversary of the Stoneman Douglas shooting. That hits close to a lot of our listeners, if not most of them. So want to have just a little shout out to that, and always in our hearts, and something that we'll never forget because it was one of those things that you're always just it won't happen down here, or it won't happen to us, or that can't happen in Parkland or whatever. If you're from South Florida, you know how great Parkland is, and it's just one of those things that you can never really be ready for. And to everyone that risked their lives and did what they had to do, just wanted to have a moment of silence or just a little shout out to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I happened to drive by that high school the other day for the first time ever. What was that? Maybe last Thursday or Friday. Drove by, kind of turned the corner. I got kind of lost in the side streets doing whatever I was doing. And that was the first time. And I didn't know, or I wasn't aware that today was that day last week. So when I drove past it, I told Vito when I seen him, I happened to drive past it. I still didn't remember that today was the day until yesterday. I seen on social media that today was the day of that. It's like, oh shit. The world is crazy how I've never drove by this high school in my entire life, but I happened to drive by on, 4-year anniversary or whatever it was. Yeah, it's pretty wild. So definitely got some chills when I drove past it, because I was looking around. I remember driving and looking around and picturing the chaos and the vulnerability of every human being that was, kind of going through that tragedy. So yeah, that's it's important to remember and respect stuff like that for sure. So thank you for that, for mentioning that. But shout outs. Hopefully we will. Are you working on the person that we have as a guest potentially for maybe next week? Maybe we could figure that out. We'll reveal it on social media or something, keep the audience guessing a little bit, but work on that for sure. So we could have a guest. Episode number 10 X. That's a big deal. Yeah. I already have some thoughts of some social media and stuff like that kind of going in. I was high the other day and thought about some cool little fun things.
He told me he'll be on a trip, but he can make some time in the hotel, and we'll just, all I got to do is just work up the specifics the next few days, and we'll be good to run that. So that should be good. Excited for that, because it's been a long time coming and kind of something we wanted to do for a while. So finally getting worked up is neat and good to go.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm excited about that. So
my account is not hacked.
My account is not hacked.
Not hacked.
Episode 9. hopefully we have a guest next week. We are also working on getting B Wonder on the podcast. Maybe we'll do something like we did with Pat, where we'll pre-record with our guest, release that episode, and then have B Wonder on. I want to do B Wonder on a live episode. So maybe we'll do the interview on episode 10. Episode 11 will be live with B Wonder in the lab. We'll have some people come on, have some fun with that, because we haven't talked to him since episode, what was that, 3? That'll be fun to do.
3. Yeah.
So like we said in the beginning, presented by BR, Billionaires Row.
BR boys.
The checks are in the mail, I think. Don't know. But hey, we still going.
We out here.
Yeah, make sure you guys, so when we do these lives and stuff, like we've said before, follow us on Twitter, YouTube, stuff like that. All the reposts, all the people that shout us out, repost and like us on Twitter, and engage with us. We appreciate you guys. The person in Russia that listens for the last month and a half of every episode. I don't know. Shout out Ukraine. Hopefully you guys don't get to, hopefully we're about to start another world
they
war
don't want
over
it.
here.
They don't want it. He said Ukraine don't want that.
By the way, that video of that chick doing the episode of that minute breakdown, did you see that?
No, I don't think
I'll send it
so.
to you.
I might have.
She breaks down like black chick. She breaks down like it's a TikTok of breaking down what the Ukraine-Russia relationship is. So I'll send it to you.
I saw one where he was talking, where Putin was talking, and he's like, "Yeah, Ukraine don't want this. We don't want to do this." So the person that's listening to us in Russia, DM us, shout us. We're trying to shout you out so we can know who you are. Yeah.
What else?
Don't skip leg day.
Don't skip leg day. I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. Damn. I don't know. Whatever. So yeah, episode 9. We got exciting things coming up over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully we can fill the time in between sports and life. I always like talking to B Wonder because he always talks about life and goes off on tangents. And that's kind of what I wanted to get into. I wanted to kind of almost use this time in the next few weeks to get away from sports a little bit, talk about some life issues, talk about some NFTs, some business ideas, and, hopefully talk about life catastrophes and aliens, shit like that. Because I'm always down for that type of fucking topic.
Aliens are legit, bro.
Yeah, they're fucking real. All right, well, episode 9. Check us out. Follow us. Listen to us. Tell a friend. That's it. Enter the lab. Peace.
Peace.